So take it away.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, hello, my name is Kass, and it is an absolute honor to be here to run Transistor any percent for you all today. This is the first time this category is going to be showcased in about 8 years, so I'm super honored to be the one to bring it all to you. We're going to get straight into the game, but quickly, before we do, I want to introduce my commentators. I'm joined by two very dear friends. We have Cafe Ella.
Hi, everyone.
And we have Syna Maur, the second best Transistor runner in the world.
Hello.
All right, so we're going to get straight into it here. So time is going to be when timer is going to begin when I pull the sword out of our friend. I just got to quickly check my settings. They're all good. That's the hardest trick in the game right there, making sure the settings are correct before we begin. So time will begin in 3, 2, 1, go. So welcome to Transistor. Transistor is an isometric action RPG from the team at Supergiant. It is their second game, came right after Bastion and right before Pyre. It is my all-time favorite game, not to mention my favorite Supergiant game. Right here, we've got the first skip. It's going to be so fast, you're probably not even going to see it. We make it across that barrier before it spawns. It saves about 1 second, and I have failed it about 150 times. Now we're going to get thrown straight into a tutorial for the turn mechanic, which is sort of the major combat mechanic of the game. It's very similar to the Fallout 4 VATS system, where time pauses, you plan out your attacks, and then when you exit turn, the attacks play out one after the other. You're not going to see it a lot in combat. You are going to see it a lot for glitches and skips that we're going to do later. But stopping time, or the way we'll refer to it, is entering and exiting turn. We don't do it a lot in fights because it's slow, and we want to go fast. So this is our first view of Cloudbank. Cloudbank is the city in which the game takes place, and it's basically one giant computer program. So feel free to donate with your favorite computer programming puns or jokes, because we would absolutely love to hear them. The name Transistor comes from the sword that we are carrying. It is the Transistor in the world, and it has some very special properties in the sense that it absorbs abilities from dead people. So right now we're going to ask a dead lady if she's okay. She's not, spoiler, but we are going to absorb her essence into the sword and pick up a new ability, Spark. We started the game with 2 abilities, Crash and Breach. We don't really use them for very long, but Spark we are going to use a lot. So the start of this game, actually I'm going to talk about this after this little vignette here. We're going to have a look at this poster. This is where we learn that we are a celebrity in the world of Cloudbank, and that we have lost our voice. How we lost our voice, we'll talk about in just a second. But this is the first part of RNG in the run. So Syna, do you want to take this?
Let's just go. Yeah, so this is the only part of RNG in the run if the run is done optimally. So we're going to boop this young lady, and she's going to teleport away from us. Ideally, we want her to teleport to the north, so this is a pretty bad area. But that's fine. Kass can easily recover by... obviously, it's optimal there to collect all of the cells from enemies, because in this game, when an enemy dies, it spawns cells, and if you don't collect the cells fast enough, they turn back into the enemy, and you have to defeat it again. And obviously, that's slow. So whenever possible, the fights we do take, we want the enemies to group up and all die at the same time.
You in there? We got Moyle Skip. So that's a little trick called Moyle Skip. Basically, we're allowed to move during a cutscene. It saves 0 time, but another runner of this game told me he'd make fun of me if I didn't get it. So Finn, I got it. And here we introduced to a new enemy by the name of the Jerk. Well, technically they're all called the Process, but throughout the course of the game, the narrator names them different things. So this is called the Jerk. I like to imagine that he's he's hitting the ground to the beat of the 1998 Belgium techno anthem Pump Up the Jam, but I don't think that's actually been canonized yet. Here we're picking up a new ability called Bounce. We barely use it at all. We only equip it because the game makes us, so we're going to do this as quickly as we can. And then we are going to exit through this door.
I want to show you something.
But wait, because there's more. That rhymed. We now have to fight a Jerk and 3 creeps, which are the name of these other little enemies that are going to shoot laser beams at us. The start of this run is basically a lot of movement optimization, a lot of ability optimization, and just trying to get through fights as quickly as you possibly can. However, about 9 minutes in, things are going to get a little bit wild, and we are not going to have enough time to explain everything.
That's our way out.
It is harder to explain this run than it is to actually do the run. So we're going to hopefully, Syna is going to do a great job, hopefully, in explaining everything. We are going to have a bit of time for donations in just a second. One thing I want to talk about, though, is in this cutscene, we have the choice of accelerating or not. It does save 30 frames or half a second to accelerate through this cutscene here, which might not seem like a lot, but once upon a time, the difference between first and second on the worldwide leaderboards was 9 frames, or 0.15 of a second. So these 30 frames do in fact matter. But Kyle, let's go for 3 donations.
3 donations, you've got it. We've got $10 from Kass, who says, had to donate for Transistor, made by my favorite indie developer. My friend won the battle with cancer just a month ago and is currently recovering from amputating because of it. It means a lot to me. Good luck to Kass and the other runners for the rest of the marathon. Thank you so much for that donation. And we have $50 from Tone, who says, hey, I like this game. I absolutely love Supergiant games, and I love seeing you folks tear it apart. Keep up the great work. And then I've got $32.64 from Stop Boo Writer. It says, in 2013, I lost my entire mind. The moment I first saw the Transistor announcement trailer, I knew it would be my favorite game. When it was released, I played it relentlessly for an entire week to dig my way into every corner of the lore. Almost a decade later, I can still say it is by far my favorite game ever. Therefore, I had to donate during it. Also, shout out to the last Fashion Police Squad. I have not laughed that hard probably since GDQ's silly blog. Thank you so much for those donations. We really appreciate them.
Thank you so much, everybody. And yes, Dangerous's run of Fashion Police Squad was incredible. I was saying in the preparation room for this that I was a little annoyed that I had to follow it, because how do you follow a run like that? He's just so good at what he does, and the game is just something very, very special. But through this door, we're going to see the reason we actually play this in windowed mode, because if I'm fast enough, we actually outspeed the camera here. So we're heading up to this next fight here, which I think is going to be a chat favorite, because one thing we didn't talk about is, chat, there are orbs in this game. Not only are there orbs, but there are orbs that we can summon at will. So we're going to use that orb to blow up that guy there. Ideally, we'd like to hit both of them. However, this one on the left didn't quite cooperate, but that's okay. We now have unlocked the ability to summon orbs, and orbs are going to be our biggest form of damage here. They're actually called load packets, but we call them orbs for the sake of GDQ, because, I think it'd be remiss of me to not do that. And Syna, if you would like to do some Sybil Skips explanation while I count in my head.
Sure. So Kass is actually going to swap his keyboard for a controller here, and on this map, in this game, the camera only follows red at certain areas where it's programmed to. And on this map, the camera is basically locked to this first screen until you start the first fight, when the camera moves to start following red again. Unfortunately, we don't actually start the first fight on this screen, because instead of doing the fight, we do a precise series of jaunts, the short-range teleport, and we go out of bounds pretty much immediately. And so what Kass is doing right now is he's using the controller to jaunt in very specific cardinal directions, like up left, down right, up right, a certain amount of times. And what he's doing is he's going all the way around the map to hit a trigger for a cutscene that starts the boss fight, which he just got.
Everyone except for them.
So now we go into the first boss fight of the game.
Oh.
Wow, is this a speed run?
This is a speed run. That's probably the hardest trick in the game. So I'm very happy that we got that first try.
And now we're gonna head into the first cutscene that is kind of explaining what happened to us, because the game kind of throws you into the middle of things. So this is the event that is immediately prefacing the beginning of the game, and kind of explaining how we got into the situation we find ourselves in. So there's a concert that we gave, as promoted on the posters everywhere, and at this concert we were attacked by a group called the Camarada, which is acting as kind of like the villain group of the game. So pay close attention to the woman, Sybil, as we're gonna fight her in a couple of minutes. And we can see the drama unfold here as the Transistor managed to steal our voice. But ultimately, I'm trying to drag it out a little bit. Ultimately, this unknown man is taking the fatal blow of the Transistor. And yeah, now we also know what USB stands for. It's for Universal Serial Boyfriend. Because he's, kind of like this giant USB stick now. Which we love, honestly. And here's kind of like a little bit of a, black and white retrospective. Because our voice got partially absorbed, but actually the man who protected us died, everything kind of went crazy, and we got ported here to the docks, which is a completely different location than the stage that we were at.
Say something already.
So yeah, that's the lore.
And so now we find ourselves at Sybil. Sybil, as Ella mentioned, is one of the members of the Camerata, but she is not very much in favor with the Camerata at the moment because she made a mistake. So they have basically begun turning her into one of the process. But we're going to make very short work of Sybil here. We're going to drop 2 orbs and then blow them up. When she enters her second phase, we're going to drop 3 more orbs and then blow them up. And then on the third phase, we're going to drop 3 more orbs, enter turn, as soon as she spawns, and then cast Spark twice. And Sybil's dead.
Wow. I think that was the hardest trick in the game, right?
That's definitely the hardest trick in the game, without a doubt. That actually used to be one of the biggest reset points until we found a really consistent way of getting it done. There is another route that's about a second, or another strategy there that's about a second or 2 faster, but I don't think it's as consistent, so I don't necessarily do it.
It is, though.
And for those of you who have been... For those of you who have been watching the marathon thus far, I'm sorry, this is not an airboat. This is just a normal boat. However, we can make it get a little bit of air as for every button that I hit here is going to make us do a jump. So Kyle, let's get another 2 donations in while I make this.
Yeah, not a problem. You asked for some computer-based puns. We've got one here from Anonymous for $25. They say, so excited to see Transistor run at GDQ. I can't remember the last time I got to watch this game. Thank you very much. And then we've got $50 from VBot, who says, donate 50. Error, permission denied. Pseudo donate 50. When you speak, I hear silence. Thank you so much for that donation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. As we see here during this cutscene, we will see a seagull go past on every couple of posts. We have named him Steven after Steven Seagal. And for those of you who are big airboat fans, do stay tuned, because I may have a little surprise for you all later. But Syna, you would like to do us the honor of explaining skipping fights?
Sure. So there are a couple ways to skip fights in this game. We're going to do 2 of them here, the 2 major ones. So the first thing he's going to do is enter and exit turn there to get back control of red. He's going to walk through this door and immediately go into turn. And what that is going to do is it's going to save red's transitional state. Because the game basically gives red the ability to walk through walls when you go through doors. And by going into turn almost immediately after exiting that door, he keeps that property, and it allows him to skip that entire map. The second...
And because the game thinks that we're still in the fight, it just doesn't spawn the other fight, so we skip 3 fights just there.
Yep. And then the next trick he's going to do is he's going to jump into a fight, but not cause the barrier to spawn for the fight. And he's going to do that 3 more times on this map. So he's going to spawn 3 fights and hopefully not spawn any of the barriers for them, which it looks like he's doing perfectly. And then he's going to complete this last fight because this fight needs to be completed in order for the door to open at the end of Canals.
Yeah, so that fight there starts off spawned, and if we don't kill those 6 enemies there, we do soft lock. But yeah, basically we are engaging the fight, but skipping over the trigger that draws the boundaries.
That sounds like a hard
Unfortunately, we can't
trick.
do that for the... It's probably the hardest trick in the game, I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Wow.
Definitely, and up here we've probably got one of the hardest fights in the game. We can skip this one, which Syna, you can explain while I try and do it.
So you can do the same trick we did before when you exit that door to give red the property, the going through doors property. But if done optimally, doing this fight is actually faster than walking all the way around. Unfortunately, it does not seem to be going optimally.
This is not how you do it optimally.
Optimally, this fight only requires 2 orbs.
Here we go.
But that's fine.
That was a bit of poor luck, but that's okay.
It was still faster than doing the other skip, the alternate route.
Correct.
Head on in.
Correct. And then we've got one last fight skip here, which is basically just very precise positioning. We're going to stand right here. We're going to dash at this second little light here. We're going to dash just here. And there we go. We've skipped over. That one doesn't even trigger. And then we're on to Elevator. So Elevator is a bit of an auto-scroller, but not really. Basically, the enemies will all spawn at the same time during the elevator trip. However, the elevator will end once we have collected the last cell. So to do this as efficiently as possible, I have to be standing where the final cell is going to drop before it drops. So you're going to see that happen. I'm just going to take out these enemies as they spawn, and then I'm going to try and finish right around here before the final cell drops. While I'm doing that, Syna, you might want to start explaining save displacements, because that's probably one of the major glitches, and we're coming up on it, and it takes a little bit of explanation.
Sure. So in this game, save points act a little differently than in other games, where you can queue up the action to use a save point. And we are going to exploit the fact that the game saves Red's position when the save screen actually pops up, instead of when Red actually uses the save point. So what Kass is going to attempt to do is he's going to queue up an action to use the save point. Then he's going to walk away from it so the save point drops back into the ground. He's going to go into turn, and then he's going to jaunt onto the save point and then jaunt into a fight. And if done correctly, the save screen should pop up inside of a fight barrier, and then he's going to save and load the game, and the game doesn't know, it assumes the fight is done, because you normally can't save and load in a fight. And I think he got it. Let's see. Yep, got him.
He did indeed.
So
Well done.
yeah, immediately he's going to
That's
do.
probably the hardest trick in the game.
He's going to do a similar trick where he's going to queue up an action to use this elevator, and then he's going to jaunt to a different save point, and save his position there. And what this is going to do is it's going to trick the game into thinking he has used that save, or that he's used the elevator when he saves and reloads, even though he's not on the elevator anymore. And that will we'll let him explain what happens there.
So basically, the elevator gets sent up. The game thinks that we're on it, but we are not. So we can just use this newly created blank or empty space to just dash up through the elevator. When we dash up through the elevator shaft, we skip over a load trick. So this is the beginning of the biggest skip in the game. So remember that skip that we just did there. Also, this is Frecky. We're just taking Frecky for a bit of a walk. Just, it's always important to exercise your dogs. Frecky's now going to head home, so everyone say goodbye to Frecky. But yes, that little gondola skip, or elevator skip there, might seem like it wasn't very much, but it is going to activate the ability for us to do what's called spine skip. So I'm sorry for all of you who really enjoy the Spine of the World boss fights, because you're not going to see it. This requires a lot of concentration and a lot of explanation. So Syna, go for it while I try and do this right.
So the reason we backtracked to that save point and skipped the elevator is to get the transistor in the current state it's in right now. Because the transistor basically has two states. It has a normal state and it has kind of like a corrupted state, and we want it to be in this normal state. So because on this map, there's an enemy that's going to drop from the sky called Spine. And unlike every other enemy in the game, it doesn't care about turn mechanics. It doesn't care about anything. So it's just going to drop on him right there. So our goal here is to get hit by it 2 more times. We want to be at about a quarter health. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a terminal in this game. We haven't seen terminals yet, but they are essentially a way the game gives us lore or opens doors or stuff like that. And usually the game is paused when you have a terminal up because it wants you to read the information. But Spine doesn't care about that. So Spine just hit us, and it put us in emergency turn. Emergency turn is this game's version of oh, you're at 0 HP, we're going to put you in turn so that way you can plan out how to survive. But with an OVC terminal up, if you leave emergency turn, you can keep playing the game with the terminal up. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this terminal to corrupt Red State as we move through this door. So we're going to go through a door, close the OVC terminal, and go into turn. And that's basically going to impart the glitched going through doors state on Red. That's an extremely hard trick to do. And Kass got it first try, so well done. So now basically we've given Red the transition through door state without using a fight barrier to do it. And now,
And basically now we're in God mode.
yeah, basically,
We're invulnerable, we have infinite HP, we can walk through walls.
yeah.
We love
and
God
so we're just gonna
mode.
Spider-Man. We do love God mode. That is probably the hardest trick in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
so we're just going to get
probably.
up here to the second part of Spine Skip, using a door from the wrong side.
Yeah, so up all the way at the top of this tower is where you would normally fight Spine. And when you fight Spine, he kind of laughs at you and slams the door that you're supposed to leave through until you defeat him. Unfortunately, the door is just up here and open. And if you don't trigger the fight, he never closes it. So you can line this up very precisely and approach the door from the back and use it and skip Spine. Unfortunately, we missed it there. So we now would be a good time for a couple more donations as
Absolutely.
we run
You guys
through
get to
this.
see Spine Skip again,
Yeah.
which is super exciting. If I stuff it up again, we're just going to fight Spine. But yes, Kyle, you've probably got like 2 minutes.
You've got
for
it. You've got
donations
so
here.
much love coming in. We've got $25 from Cyberbot X. They say, I absolutely love Transistor. And I was told to give a programming joke, so here's one. There are only 10 types of people in the world. Those who understand binary and those who don't. Best of luck to Kass on the run. Put this to the Hotshot Shipless Showcase in Outer Wilds. Update on that one. We're at over $9,400 for that. That is amazing. Keep that love coming. We've got $25 here from Fuzzy that says C:/DOS, C:/DOS/run, run/DOS/run. It's a visual joke, but it still works a little bit when you say it.
Brilliant.
And then we've got $50 from Snoop J, who says, so excited for Transistor at HEDQ. My hype levels are overflowing. Love this game and its haunting soundtrack. Looking forward to some pointers about how to increment my gameplay. Thank you so much for your donations.
So we're just going to try and do this again. So basically, I've got a couple of frames here where I need to enter this door. Spine's just hit us again. That's okay. Basically, a few frames where I need to enter this door, exit the terminal, enter turn. And then that locks us in the state.
Ta-da!
So this is one of the newer tech that has been found. And none of this is possible without doing that little elevator skip that we did, in the previous screen. Without doing that trick, we do in fact have to fight Spine. Otherwise, we soft lock on the next screen. So it's a lot of little interconnected worlds. And I mean, one of the donations just mentioned the haunting soundtrack. And honestly, if you haven't heard the Transistor soundtrack, it's on Spotify. It's by the supergiant composer Darren Korb. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's well worth a listen to. Even if you don't know the game, I honestly cannot recommend it highly enough.
So
but we're coming up on this door again.
You only need 10
sorry.
tries for this as well, right?
What was that, sorry, Ella?
You only need 10 tries for this as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, so good binary
Binary.
joke. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little bit longer to set this up just to make sure that I'm in the right spot. Okay, we got it that time.
Nice.
Good. I did not want to stuff that up again. But that's okay. That's
Well, then you
okay.
did
So
10
now we're
tries.
just going to climb up Bracket Towers. Bracket Towers is sort of a three-part zone. We're going to go out of bounds really quick here and back into bounds. That was just a nice little one that saves a couple of seconds. But we do skip quite a bit of lore here. So we're going to get Ella to update us on all the lore that we have skipped in just a second. But this is probably going to be another great time for, let's say another 4 donations.
Thank you so much. We've got
Four
$50
donations.
from CVPCS, who says, had to donate during the Transistor run, one of my favorite games of all time. Good luck to Kass on the run. Here's hoping for fast segments, few faults, and 0 seg faults. Thank you so much for your donation. We also have $15 from Museus, who says, good luck, Kass, from a fellow SGG game, Hades runner. Thank you so much for that.
I'm so sorry to Kass giveth and Kass taketh away, Kyle, but I'm going to give you some more time. We just got to explain one thing super quick here.
So we are going to do another terminal skip like we did before, but instead of using emergency turn, we're going to use these jump pads. Unfortunately, Kass used a jump pad a little early there, but he can recover. So what we're going to do is we're going to queue up an OVC terminal almost on the same frame as we queue up a jump pad. That was perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close this jump pad, or close the terminal mid-flight while going into turn, and that saves Red's property again of the transitional property of jump pad, which, unlike doors, turns Red into supersonic for a brief window in time. That's the only time we get to go really fast with Red, but it's very funny.
Is there
Yes,
a red
unfortunately,
Sonic?
is there a red Sonic? Yes, there is a red Sonic.
I do believe there is a Red Sonic character.
I think that's actually his name too, right? Red Sonic. Is that what everyone
Yeah, I think
calls
so.
him?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I think so.
All right. So we've got another save displacement here to skip another fight, and then it's just a bunch of movement optimization. So Kyle, go for those other
The
two
other
donations.
two
that I promised
donations
you.
are here. We've got $20 from Juicy Toaster, who says, Cass, you are an amazing streamer and an amazing guy. Love your community, and I am so glad to have met you. You are going to slay this run.
Oh, Juicy. Thank you, Juicy.
And then we've got $25 from Space Pigeon Ari, who says, big hype for Cass. You are such a wonderful human, and you have so much love and support behind you. Thank you so much for those donations.
Ari. Thank you, guys. They're two of my community members who I absolutely adore. And it's so nice. It's so nice to have my community here behind me. I've been really nervous leading up to this. This is my first marathon ever. So having my community behind me and gassing me up has been absolutely incredible. So another save displacement here that's going to look a little different. Syna, if you want to explain this one.
Yeah, so again, this is a normal save displacement. The only thing is we're going to be unequipping all of our abilities that do damage. And much with the theme of this game, we're doing this so about 4 screens from now, it matters. Hopefully we don't die in this cutscene. If we die in that cutscene, the game can crash. It looks like Cass. Oh, he got the bug. I don't think you can recover from this.
I don't think I can recover from this
No.
either. Nah, that's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right.
basically,
We can do it
what
again.
happened there is the jerk pushed him out of bounds while he was loading into that map, and you can't do that. The game gets very upset.
So yes,
What a
going
jerk.
through that door there, that's probably the hardest skip in the game. Going through that door, you can either crash the game or soft lock the game.
Yes.
And of course, at Marathon Luck, we're gonna always get one of them.
So the reason.
So as we...
Oh yeah, no, go for it.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, as we're heading to the top of Bracket Towers here, we should probably get an update on the lore. Ella, if you want to jump in and just fill us in on everything we've missed
Wouldn't
here.
it be so convenient if you had someone on the cast for lore updates? Oh, wait,
That
that's
would be...
me. Okay.
why didn't we think of that earlier?
So we basically reached the top of Bracket Towers and we discover, so to confront 2 more members of the Camarada, Grant and Asher, but we find them lying on the floor of their apartment. This is like a big plot twist in the game. And on this terminal that you see there, we basically find a last message from Asher, basically explaining that they could not deal with the guilt of trying to seize control over Cloudbank, which is the city, and that they took matters into their own hands. The cat is still alive though, so that's good, right?
Yes,
And
we
a
like to play
little-
Spot the Cat here, so please
Yeah.
try and see the cat in the frame.
And a little fun fact, Asher and Grant have the same last name, plus a few lore hints in the game, and it makes people think that they are actually partners and married, and we love the LGBTQIA plus representation in the game. And yeah, you can also, in those glass tanks, you see the process that they were researching in this apartment.
And I alluded to it earlier. Those of you who are fans of M Sushi and airboats, I would like to present to you Transistor's airboat.
Airboat!
Not quite the same thing, but hey, we can at least pretend that we've got our own little airboats.
It's the Son Goku airboat.
It's the Son Goku airboat. That is correct. And this little cutscene here is just basically showing us that, now that Sybil, Grant, and Asher have been eliminated, we have one final member of the Camarada. His name is Royce, and we're on our way to go and see him now. You are going to see at the end of this cutscene, it's going to drop us into a fight. But because we don't have any offensive abilities equipped, the game is lovely and just says, you know what? You've entered into a fight that you can't get out of without beating it. You don't have any offensive abilities. We'll just let you not do the fight, which is great. It saves about 20 seconds. And I reckon we've probably got time for about 3 donations.
All right, yeah, you got it. We've got $5 from Cupcake, who says, if, parentheses, hardest trick in the game, then, parentheses, donate $5. So thank you so much for running that code and getting those $5 to us. And look, it looks like the code ran again because we have $5 from Pink, who says, hardest skip, hardest trick in the game, Transistor donation train, go! So keep that $5 donation code running, and let's get those $5 in, everybody. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. Well, we've got another fight skip coming up here. This one is probably one of the, this is probably the hardest skip in the game. Definitely the hardest skip for new runners, just because there's no real way to set it up efficiently. You've got to kind of wing it, but we got it first try. Let's go.
Yo! Well done.
And now we're just going to keep skipping through all of these fights here. We're going to be reintroduced to Spine, but we are re-entering through, those who with a very keen eye will notice that this is basically the area of the game we've already been through, so we are backtracking quite a bit. However, the process have had their way with most of Cloudbank, and it's basically been formatted into a big blank canvas, as that's what the process do. The process basically formats things. The Camerata were looking to have them format Cloudbank so that they could remake it in their own image, and it went wrong. So we're just going to re-equip all our combat abilities here because we do have to fight another new enemy coming up here. We're just going to skip around this fight first.
So it's very interesting because the game is not very long. It's like 6 hours or so, but the depth of the lore is quite intense. Like really like reading through all the terminals and like trying to figure out all the connections. We do not even scratch the surface of the lore in like a 30-minute run. We really would like to, but we have to find like a good balance of like updating you on what's happening, but also like giving you the tech talk and everything. But I really highly recommend playing the game. I played it casually for the first time not too long ago, and I think it was a really great experience and a very unique sort of game atmosphere that Supergiant created here. So yeah, just letting you know that there's much more to the lore than what we're covering.
Absolutely there is. And more to the game as well. We'll touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But at the end of this cutscene is one of the best voice lines in the game. And unfortunately, we go a little bit too fast. It doesn't get time to actually say it. So could I please, in chat, see a bunch of "See you in the countryside, Mr. Bike"? If I could see a bunch of those in chat, that'd be fantastic. But here, this is basically where we first got on the bike. We're going to say goodbye to Mr. Bike right now, or as I just alluded to, we're going to say, "See you in the countryside, Mr. Bike." But here we're going to head to another of the named characters by the speedrun community. This is Bob. Bob's a little bit shy. Bob isn't very confident in his job. He pulls us across this little gap here, but if we don't move, he just loses aggro on us, and he just leaves us alone. So everybody say hi, Bob. And we're going to put 4 orbs here, blow them up, and now everybody say bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
So this is why you shouldn't fake it till you make it. You should instead believe it until you be it. If that was the case, Bob may have put up slightly bigger fights. We do have a photosensitivity warning coming up, so I'll give you guys a heads up when you can look back if you are affected by flashing lights. And Syna, do you want to explain animation cancel?
Yeah, so this is the newest trick found in this run. Normally when Red transitions through this door, she walks into a fight trigger, but if we basically pause buffer, or do this game's version of pause buffering, we can keep Red inside the door there, and then we can jaunt around the trigger that starts the fight. That's Royce, that little Jetsons robot screen we just passed. The less Royce talks in this game, the faster the game goes, and skipping around that fight also skips about a 30-second dialogue with Royce. So that fight, or skipping that fight, saves a ton of time. The terminal that Kass just used right there is the only reason we play in Chinese. It saves because terminals print characters, one character at a time, and that one prints a lot of characters. Playing it in Chinese saves about 4 seconds over the entirety of the run. And that's the only terminal where it matters. All the other terminals, it doesn't matter what language you play in, but that one is very important.
The process can't be
Very important for those 4 seconds. And yeah, as Syna was just saying, this is Royce really likes the sound of his own voice. So if I click on Royce at any point in these next few segments, we lose about a minute. And yeah, that right after that fight, he throws us into a 30 to 45 second monologue, which skipping has become, shout outs to Finn, who unfortunately couldn't be here today. Discovering that was seriously one of the greatest discoveries in this game. And it only happened, 2 months ago?
If that.
Also, another photosensitivity warning. I will give you guys a heads up when you can look back. And then this is the last one for the run.
When everything's a fair view.
Yep, we're going to do another pause buffer here so that red stays in position and doesn't walk into a fight trigger. And then we're just going to jaunt around the fight trigger. And then...
and you can look back.
Yep.
There is no more flashing lights.
And then we're going to do a quick save displacement here and get to the last screen of the game before the final boss.
More traditional sense.
Yeah, we're almost
cool.
there. We're almost
there.
chat.
We're getting to the last area.
So basically, Royce is talking to us through this little monitor. Here we see Red falling with the transistor, kind of like making peace almost, like looking at peace with the fact that, her lover, as we find out throughout the game, like at first we don't know who the unknown subject is, but it turns out that they had a very personal relationship. And
this is probably the hardest fight in the game.
Yes.
This is 3 men, which are the name of the enemies, and they all share abilities. So there's 3 different abilities that the men have, and basically I got to try and kill them all before they kill me, because we're so underleveled right now, they will basically one-shot me if they hit me. Oh, like that. So there you are. That's what emergency turn looks like when I don't have an OBC terminal open. But that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty good.
Excellent fight.
That's our last level up of the run. And now I think we've probably got time for 2 more donations.
Sounds great. We've got $25 from our very own Dangerous, who says, I'm a man of my word. I lost my bet with Amerlin, so here's me paying up. Thank you all so much for all of the love for the run. Good luck, Kass. I adore Transistor to pieces, and I'm so happy you also got a chance to show off your own run. Rooting for your brother. Chat, enjoy the rest of AGDQ 2023. You are all amazing. Thank you so much, Dangerous, for making good on that bet. And we have $25 from Pleb, who says, it makes me so happy to see this game in GDQ. Transistor is such a beautiful game. Good luck, go fast, and see you in the country.
Didn't see much at all. It was like staring.
All right, so I did allude to this in my interview earlier. For those of you who aren't necessarily tech-minded, here is your reward. We are going to take a safety save here, just because the next 2 skips can be a little bit iffy. So we're going to take a little visit to the beach. The beach is a lovely little out-of-game area where we can activate different ability challenges and things like that. But more importantly, we can throw on some chill synthwave to study and relax to. But we can also meet Luna. So, can I get everyone to say hello, Luna, in chat? Not only can we meet Luna, but we can play fetch with Luna. And I thought it would be very remiss of me to play a game where you could play fetch with a robot dog and not do it. So there is a point to this. I'm going to pretend there's a point to this anyway, because this is not necessarily going to be the last time we see Luna. So we will say goodbye for now, but not forever, and we will continue with the speedrun.
I love Luna.
I love Luna too.
Best girl.
Luna is actually the reason, fun fact, that we play on a previous patch of this game. So we are not playing on the current patch, and we will talk about why in just a moment. This is probably the hardest fight skip in the game, as well as the hardest save displacements.
Yo, he got him. Look at that.
Let's go.
Legendary.
Whoa.
You don't
Okay,
know
so
how
this
many
time,
times that went wrong in the practice.
don't talk about it. Don't talk about
sorry,
it. I
yeah.
always get
Good
that
job.
first try.
100%
So that's
win rate.
another save displacement. But instead of skipping a fight trigger that time, we're skipping a cutscene trigger. Again, hello? There we go. Again, Royce does like the sound of his own voice, so we're just gonna, Ella, do you want to make the joke?
We're gonna breach all the firewalls here.
We're
go.
going to breach through all these firewalls, replace the transistor in its cradle. And Ella, do you want to give us a real quick lore update before we fight Royce?
Yeah, so basically what happened lore-wise in the last few minutes is that Royce made a truce with us, basically promising us to restore Cloud Bank into its old state if we just bring back the transistor to him, because he needs that as a tool. So we agree on this, and we're on our way to put the transistor back into the cradle. And as you can see, the transistor gets absorbed, and so do we. This is a pretty long load screen, so I'm going to try to fill this up as well as I can. Royce is basically the last member of the Camarada that is still alive. He's the brain of the entire operation, and yeah, they were seizing control of a cloud bank with the process to form it under their own image, basically overriding democracy and everything. And he's also the one who discovered the process in the first place. So now we are inside the transistor. And, you know, Roy's totally trustworthy villain tells us out of a sudden that now that we're inside the transistor, he only knows one way out. And that one is a little bit unpleasant because we're stuck. And that means we have to fight him.
Not there.
So we're about to change up our abilities for the very first time as well. We've pretty much played ever since I unlocked Load, or the Orb. We have played with the exact same abilities the entire time. But this is going to be the first time we're going to change those up. So I'm going to try and do this as quickly as I can.
Are you saying we're going to get a little help here?
You could say we're getting a little bit of help here. You absolutely could.
Love that for us.
Royce does have his own transistor, so he can actually use turn. So basically, he's going to use turn first because he's a cheater. But hopefully he makes the most of it because it's the only time he's going to get to use turn. In fact, it's the only time he's going to get to attack. Because Luna, who we met at the beach, is bugged. And Syna, hopefully you can explain that to us.
Yeah, so what we did is we put Crash on Luna's Bark, which lowers defense of enemies. But on the down patch, Bark also duplicates... Oh.
We got a crash!
Oh no! Oh no!
He just crashed on me!
Not the ability, though.
I'm going to say it. That's never happened to me before.
I've never seen a crash on Royce before either.
I've never seen this happen before.
We got the GDQ meme. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm just going to quickly relaunch the game. Luckily, there is a save directly in front of Royce. So that's... Oh, that was so unusual.
Congrats to all the bingo players out there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
All the
you're also
GDQ
welcome.
bingo players.
But yeah, so on the down patch, Luna's bark duplicates objects that she barks at. So in this instance, she's going to duplicate a lot of orbs, and obviously the orbs do a lot of damage. And if done correctly, they basically one-shot Royce. Royce has 4 lives, so it's going to take a couple turns in order to get him. But yeah, that's why we play on the down patch. And fight optimally is you want Royce to stand as close to Red and Luna as possible. If he runs away, that's bad. So hopefully he'll jaunt behind is the quickest. That's perfect.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Okay, it didn't crash that time.
Great.
Oh my god. Luna was
That's
just
so funny.
too OP because you played with her so much.
I was gonna say, clearly, we just gave Luna too much power, and the game just couldn't handle it. It's actually that's so funny too because I've done over 250. I've done over 250 runs of this game, and I have seen it crash exactly 3 times, and this was one of them. Like, it is such a well-made game. It's so uncommon for that to happen.
I've run this game over 500 times, and this is the first time I've ever seen it crash at Royce before. That's wild.
Yep. Wow, over 500, mate, and you still don't have world record.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Oh wow, it's on! What you should know is that Kass and Syna have like this eternal rivalry going on.
We've traded world record over a dozen times now. Constantly
In the last 4 months.
Yes.
Like, it's not even been over the time we've been running the game. We're talking a dozen times in the last 4 months. But there, we got rid of Royce. He's now stuck in the Transistor. We have returned to Cloudbank. It is completely formatted by the process. However, the good thing about a blank canvas is it can be anything we want. And guess who has the brush? It's us. We have the brush. So we can recreate Cloudbank in any image that we so choose. So we're going to start doing that here, and then we're going to make our way back to where we actually start the game. So it's very full circle in the sense that we go one direction, we come all the way back, and then head in a different direction, and then we return back to where we started as well. There is disagreement amongst the community as to which is the correct order to activate these 4 hotspots here. I personally am a left and clockwise guy. I know Finn is a down and clockwise guy. Syna, which do you prefer?
I do north and then left and then right and then down. So I do it way out of order.
He does a Z,
right?
Just to be different.
Just note that time is coming up on a fade to black. Soon.
Quirky.
Time is coming up in about 30 seconds. Yeah. So we are going to head over. We return 6 statues. And then our boyfriends. We have our priorities in order, as you can see. As the music swells and we come to the final scene of the game, Red makes the decision that in that falling cutscene we saw earlier, both Red and the boyfriends, the narrator, came to peace with the idea that then he's never going to be returned to the world. The Transistor cannot bring people back to life.
What are you doing?
And she decides that a world in her image will not be in her image without him. So, get ready on that timer, because we are coming up.
Please.
I'm not going to try and count down to time, because I always get it wrong.
If you do this,
no matter how many times I've seen this scene.
Red, please don't.
And we have time. All right. So
amazing
that was
run.
Transistor.
Well done, Cass.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
guys. Thank you so much. That
fantastic.
was, of all the practice, that probably went the best of all runs. But we are going to get out of here. Before I do, I have a couple of quick shout outs that I do want to give. Well, first of all, about the game. Not only did we just scratch the surface of the lore, but we just scratched the surface of the game. We finished the game at level 5. There are 20 levels and 20 abilities. You saw 5 of them. So just because you've seen the game from start to finish right now does not mean that you've seen it all. There is so much more to this game, as well as a new game plus. It's a whole thing. So get it, play it, maybe even speedrun it. But before we do go, of course, I want to give you a shout out to Ella and Syna. Guys, seriously, I could not have done this without you. So thank you so much for agreeing to be here. Syna, thank you for being such an incredible rival. And Ella, I wouldn't have even submitted to GDQ had you not pushed me. So thank you both so much.
No worries.
Of course, to Finn. Finn's supposed to be here commentating with us as well, but unfortunately he is unwell. Finn is the absolute backbone of this whole speedrunning community. If Syna and I are the legs, Finn is the brain and the backbone of the whole community. So shout outs to Finn and feel better soon, buddy. Of course, the GDQ staff, volunteers, and all of you donating. This event wouldn't be the same without you, and you've all done such an incredible job. To Supergiant for making such an incredible games. Transistor, like I said, is my all-time favorite game, and it's just thank you. And really quick, I want to dedicate this entire run to another speedrunner by the name of Voolagin. I alluded to it a little bit in my interview, but 8 years ago, I tuned into Games Done Quick for the very first time. The very first run I ever watched was Voolagin running Transistor any %. It was the first speedrun I'd seen, it was the first time I'd seen Transistor, and it was the first time I'd watched a Games Done Quick. And being able to sit figuratively where Voolagin sat 8 years later and run the same game in the same category is honestly such an honor. So Voolagin, thank you for introducing me to my all-time favorite game. But I'm gonna get the hell out of here. If you have enjoyed seeing this, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/CassXCII. They're the Roman numerals for 92. And on that stream, we have a little bit of a tradition that my chat would kill me if I didn't bring you all into. So I'd like to invite you all now to take part of this. After the best voice line in the game. Yep, no worries.
Hey.
Guys, the world is a bigger, better, brighter place with you in it. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm super proud of you. And in case no one's told you today, you've got a great butt, cute face, and I love you. So stay happy, stay safe. If you can't do either of those, then stay strong, because better days are coming, and they are just around the corner. So until next time, this has been Transistor. I've been Kass. You have been amazing. Enjoy the rest of JDQ.
Okay, well, Kass, geez, what a lot of emotions happening here over on my end of things. Tough ending, beautiful messages. Thank you so much, Kass, for that amazing run. What a gorgeous game. What a gorgeous message. Thank you for bringing that home for us. We had a $25 donation come in from Chris Alice that says, Supergiant has never made a bad game or an uninteresting one. Transistor's use of music and the humming button is just chef's kiss. As such, I had to donate during this run. My father's fighting with stage 4 liver cancer, and if it had been caught earlier, things might be rosier for him. PCF's work is essential. Thank you so much for your donation, and best of luck to your father's treatment. Thank you so much for that. And with that, we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back with lots more games done quick. All right, everybody, welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, powered by Twitch. I am THEKyleThomas. I went off and had a little emotion purge for after that one. What a great moment. That's what's so beautiful about these marathons is moments like that. Let's change it up with a little programming joke here. We've got $10 from Lunic1 who says, another programming joke for y'all. A wife says to her programmer husband, while you're at the grocery store, buy a jug of milk, and if they have eggs, buy a dozen. He comes back with 12 jugs of milk. Oh, you love it. You love to see the jokes like that. All right, we're going to take you over to a message from our friends at Frame Fatales. Mark your calendars. Frost Fatales 2023, GDQ's next all-women charity speedrunning event is coming up February 26th through March 4th. The Frame Fatales community will be raising money for charity and spotlighting the most talented women in speedrunning. For more information about Frame Fatales, go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales or do !FF in the chat. If you're a woman interested in joining the FF community, DM at Frame Fatales on Twitter or head to our website. They are such a great organization. So much fun to watch. Make sure you're tuning in to all of their events. We love our Frame Fatales around these parts for sure. We've got $50 that came in from Joey Mack saying, splitting my donation between the Outer Wilds Hotshot Shipless Showcase and RE Shadow of Rose DLC. Let's get all the incentives this marathon to help cure cancer. Thank you so much, Joey Mack, for your donation. And let's tune into this. Take a little peek, see where we are on our incentives here. We're almost at $11,000 towards Outer Wilds Hotshot Shipless Showcase. So we're only $4,000 away. Keep things coming for that. Our next bonus game, Shadow of Rose, is at $16,000 out of $90,000. So go ahead and get those donations in towards those, and let's get as much GDQ as possible. With that, I am THEKyleThomas. That's going to wrap it up for me for this marathon. It has been an absolute pleasure hosting for you. I love you all. This is such an honor. And we are going to take you over to some prizes. See y'all soon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023. My name is Frozen Flygon, and I'm joined, as always, by Sent. How are you doing, Sent?
I am always happy to be Court. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I have something else I want to tell you.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
So, mark your calendars. The next GDQ all-women speedrunning event.
No, wait, Court, we already did the Frame Fatales. We got to talk about prizes now.
I saw it on the rundown. I just wanted to make sure I was ready.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too, Court. You produce an excellent marathon, but right now we are in the middle of Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, and we have so many amazing prizes to tell you all about. Transistor was actually the start of an all-new prize block. So make sure to get your donations in for all the prizes we're going to talk about now before the end of that Outer Wilds run a little bit later tonight. I'm going to tell you up front again. $25 minimum donation, going to get you entered into everything that we're about to talk about and more. And a $50 minimum donation is going to also get you entered into our incredible day prize. You can see it right here between us. This absolutely lovely handcrafted quilt by our friend Kestrel Mishad. Seriously, this is just a work of art.
I absolutely love it. We were discussing before the segment. I mean, there's no really wrong way for you to display this. I was showing it off like this earlier. Mario's upside down. That's totally fine.
Right, but the planet and the Luma are fine. And, hey, if you flip it around, hey, Mario's right side up. The planet is now gone. The best part about Super Mario Galaxy is that gravity is relative, and therefore I can't hold anything incorrectly.
Exactly. You cannot be wrong. And that is the most beautiful part of this prize.
Indeed. but in actuality, this is just a masterfully done handmade quilt, a one-of-a-kind art piece, and it actually comes with a certificate of authenticity on the back to confirm that it was made by Kestrel Mishad for the event. As well, it's numbered, it's dated, it's got all the info you need.
I love it.
Thank you so much for sending it out for us. And again, $50 minimum donation pretty much any time today, but at least get $25 in right now so you can be entered into all of the amazing prizes we're going to talk about. We got some cool ones.
Yes, we're so excited for the Galaxy run. That's coming up next. And we also have a duo of little handmade Luma plushies. They are so adorable. You can see pictures of them on the website at gamesdonequick.com. Light Dreamer sent those out to us. It's $10 minimum donation. There's a pink one and a yellow one, and they're just so cute.
They are absolutely adorable. Please don't feed them Starbits. They might explode, but you should definitely keep them around and give them a good hug. Also, from our friend Ness Paints, we have a lovely painting of Bowser's Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey. Bowser's Kingdom, just aesthetically, one of my favorite kingdoms of the game. You know, you've got the huge moon in the background and like the medieval Japanese architecture going on, but it's all Bowser themed with Bowser heads and other minion accoutrement, if you will. Super lovely print. Thank you so much for sending it out. Again, $10 minimum donation by itself, but $25 is going to get you into everything that we're talking about right now.
Absolutely. And we have Outer Wilds coming on up, and we do have some Outer Wilds theme prizes. We want to talk about those.
Yeah, this is a little mini space block, I guess, right?
Really
We're doing Galaxy into Outer Wilds.
I love that. So for our space block, we got some space block prizes. We have this gorgeous Ash and Ember poster given to us by Fangamer and Mobius Digital Games. First of all, this is super stunning. I love the color scheme here, all those pinks and purples, blues. This is my favorite color scheme, gotta say. And it's such a fantastic game, and this is so striking of a poster for any fans of this.
It reminds me so much of like an 80s sci-fi movie poster, right? Like I could see if you just wrote like Wing Commander in the middle of this, I would 100% believe that was a legitimate movie poster. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sending it out to us. And also for a $10 minimum donation from our friend Maren Lund, we have this absolutely adorable Outer Wilds cross-stitch patch. You can sew this into your clothing. The patch itself, as you can see as we zoom in on the front here, is actually cross-stitched together. So this is, hundreds of tiny individual stitches. Super cool. Thank you so much for sending it out to us. But the Outer Wilds prizes don't end, because we also have this absolutely lovely acrylic on canvas painting here of the Outer Wilds, sent to us by KP Art. Thank you so much to our friend KP Art for sending it out. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, just a full canvas painting. Super cool. Thank you so much. $15 minimum donation by itself, but again, $25 going to get you entered into everything we're talking about. And if we're talking about things out of this world, we got to talk about this incredible deck box. Now, obviously, not exactly related to Outer Worlds. You can see some of the mana symbols from Magic the Gathering on the front of the box here, but this is a solid aluminum machined deck box made for us by K-Form Inc. and Billet Geeks. The box itself is actually magnetic, so it's quite sturdy by itself, and it will just, I'll do it sideways so it's not gravity attaching it. Snaps right back together. It is super cool, super high quality. I love the geometric pattern on it. It looks really nice under all of our bright studio lights for sure. $25 minimum donation. Thank you so much to our friends for sending that out to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. We've had some admirers in the studio of that all day. And another painting, we have another Mario themed one here, and Luma's been talking about them. They're so cute, so precious, and I absolutely love this Happy Luma painting given to us by Emmy Elliott, a member of the FF community, and just, always sends out such lovely, lovely prizes. And I love the shimmer that is on this, especially the Luma's eyes. It's adorable.
Emmy's paintings, again, are just, I don't understand. They're so shiny. If you just want to, rock that back and forth in the lights, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
It's like it's laminated almost with how
really
smooth a finish it has. It's incredible. Thank you so much, Emmy, for sending that out to us. We have so many other amazing prizes. We have a lovely Star Fox print from our friends over at Studio Pinpin. We have some Spyro and Jack keychains from Professor Caton. We have from Cute Monster Props a new coin themed prop that I absolutely love. A Hollow Knight Geo, which, first off, that's just really cool.
That looks so good.
Love seeing this, in real life. But then on the back of it, it's also a Wanderer's Journal from Hollow Knight as well.
Gotcha.
It is a double duty prop right there. Super cool. $15 minimum donation by itself. Thank you so much to our friends over at Cute Monster Props for that. We have desk mats. We have perlers. We have so many more amazing prizes. You should definitely get your donations in. Again, get in a $25 donation so you can be entered into everything that's available during the segment. Get in a $50 donation so you can also be eligible to win this incredible quilt from Kestra Mashad. and get in at least $200 of donations throughout the entire event. So you are eligible for all three of our incredible grand prizes, a Hylian shield and your choice of replica from our friends over at Heroic Replicas, the lovely Fallout laser rifle from our friends at Cute Monster Props and Vulpin Props, right there, and a incredible gaming PC from our friends over at Sky Tech Gaming. All three of them a $200 cumulative minimum donation. Make sure to get those donations in. Make sure to get them soon, and make sure to put them towards that Outer Wilds incentive.
Yes.
We are so close to seeing a shipless hotshot. I just have started playing Outer Wilds casually. I don't know how you play the game at all without the ship.
We have to see that.
I haven't spoiled myself as part of the committee. I let other people handle that. I haven't seen it. I want to see it. Let's make it happen. But for the moment, let's send you all back up to the front and let's get comfy because we're going to settle in for a Super Mario Galaxy 2 four-way race. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Alrighty, welcome back, folks, to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online, powered by Twitch. My name is Hey There, I'm Dad, named after my favorite full-time job. And speaking of jobs, I've got a very particular job of being your host here for the Super Mario Galaxy 2 Any Percent race. Very excited about this right now. So let's take a moment now to remember why we're here today. We're here supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation all week long. The Prevent Cancer Foundation, founded in 1985, is a U.S.-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. You can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. Want to say a big thanks to the prize team once more for showing us those prizes. Some very, very cool Mario prize runs or prizes coming up during this run. Let's get to some donations while we wait for the runners to get ready. We have $25 from Anonymous that says, cancer prevention screening is the reason my dad is still with us today, and I couldn't be more grateful. Early detection saves lives. So please, I urge anyone reading this to consider being screened, especially if cancer runs in your family. Your life is worth it. And a good reminder for folks, as we have been, we're here on Tuesday, we've still got more than half a week left of speed runs. We have $25 from Gecko that says, let's get this started, and don't forget to always stay hydrated. I've got some water on my desk, and I suggest everyone else to get yours as well. So as we get ready for the Super Mario Galaxy 2 race, let's talk about some of the incentives that we have coming up later today. We have been pushing very closely for the Outer Wilds Hotshot Shipless Showcase, which is coming up after the Mario Galaxy 2 run and after the Jack 2 run. So we don't have too much time to meet that, but we're just shy of $2,500 away from meeting that. Very excited about that particular showcase. So let's get some donations in there. But then even more exciting, later tonight, Resident Evil Village Shadow of Rose is a bonus game segment. So if you're like me and you have such a great time watching Awesome Games Done Quick and you want a little bit more, well, we've got to get some money raised to meet the Resident Evil Village Shadow of Rose incentive. We are currently sitting at $17,558 of the $90,000 that we need. So we just need $72,000 and some change to get there. We've got a 3-hour and 10-minute estimate run for Super Mario Galaxy 2, so that's plenty of time for chat to get some work done. Speaking of those incentives, we have $15 from Flamin' Sarge. I loved Outer Wilds. I just wish I could play it for the first time again. Let's get this showcase in. $25 from your pal Lou. I was too scared to finish the Outer Wilds DLC on my own. Thank goodness for speedrunners. $25 from Rocky12799. Always love donating for a cause. A great cause. As a 3-time cancer survivor, the work PCF does for so many has special meaning for me. Let's get that bonus game. Going towards the Resident Evil Shadow of Rose again. Trying to meet that by its scheduled estimated time later this evening. So here we go. With our run coming up for Super Mario Galaxy 2 any percent, haikus. We have Old Gamer Rivers says with $50 donation, haikus, Piffle, time for a Super Mario Galaxy 2 sonnet. When power stars are lost in blackest night and galaxies with enemies abound, a plumber will suit up and fight the fight until all Lumas lost at last are found. But here we run beyond belief, as fast as eye and hand and gravities allow. The levels fall, each quicker than the last, and boundaries are broken through somehow. This story has been told and told again. A cake, a party, Mario with powers. Then Games Done Quick retells it one more time, but minutes only passing, not long hours. The skill display to show full fascination. Now, isn't that a reason for a donation? Well, what a lovely sonnet. Thank you, Old Gamer Rivers. We've got $50 from BB. It says, always look forward to GDQ, and it is the best way to start the year. We're after MagFest, looking forward to some more amazing speedruns. And I see quite a lot of love coming in for the Outer Wilds Hotshot Shipless Showcase. We are now currently just under $1,600 away from meeting that incentive. Chat, just within the past few minutes, you've been working your magic. Much appreciated. Let's keep going. Perhaps we can even meet it before the Mario run starts. Ooh. Pabs sends in $200 with no comment. Thank you, Pabs. $25 from Verxel that says, I'm a simple man. I see unmet incentives and prizes. I donate. 400K hype. And we've got a $25 donation from Corduroy in reference to our previous run of Transistor. Bastion was the first game that I absolutely fell in love with, and Transistor was the second. I loved seeing it get broken, and I can't wait for the rest of the marathon. Let's get more GDQ and reach the Resident Evil incentive. Thank you for that wonderful donation. And we've got $50 from PCB that I think is just getting us ready for probably what we're going to be hearing a lot of here for the next 3 hours. Wah! Yo! Woo! And that is basically the soundtrack to just about any Mario speedrun. $25 from Gemma that says, shout out to the hosts, the runners, commentators, and all the behind-the-scenes volunteers. You are incredible. Now, let's see Shadow of Rose. I could not agree more. It's been a fantastic marathon thus far, and would you believe it, we're not even halfway yet. Still have a lot more speed running, so thank you so much to everyone involved, and thank you to the runners and chat. Thank you for keeping engaged and just giving us a nice fun time. $25 from Ariane that says, I had to donate towards the Resident Evil Village Shadow of Rose bonus run. It looks awesome, and I need to see it. Here is to more GDQ. got a $150 donation from Dynamite that says, "Let's go, Jay. Good luck on the race, and I will donate another $50 if Sorbetti Skip is done first try." Edge. We got $50 from Chris and Holly. It says, "We have enjoyed watching GDQ for the past several years, and we look forward to welcoming our new little girl just before SGDQ. Let's go." And $25 from Anonymous. It says, "Outer Wilds is one of my all-time favorite games. Let's see that hotshot shipless showcase." Just a quick update on that incentive for Outer Wilds Hotshot Shipless Showcase. Well, just in the past few minutes, we've raised about $600. We are now $570 away from meeting that showcase. So chat, let's go ahead and continue that and see if we can meet that here shortly. But with that being said, we are ready to jump in to our Super Mario Galaxy 2 Any Percent race. I know I'm excited. I know you all are too. Let's hand it over to our runners.
Yeah.